What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? The NBA champions we just faced recently, and the Bulls actually won the game. There was a lot of conversation before this game even came around saying that the Bulls couldn't really beat good teams. And of course, beating one good team doesn't necessarily change the narrative, but it's nice to see that we versed a team that's very competitive, 21-6 on their season as of now, and to win that game, and to do so while feeling like we kind of belonged in the game as well. It wasn't like the Bulls were having the best game of all time either and they won the game. It felt like we belonged against Boston. It felt like we fought tooth and nail. We felt competitive the entire way through. And in the end, we won the game. It's as simple as that. I'm very happy to say it. And I'm very happy to talk about it in this video. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about these Chicago Bulls, their game today, and your player of the game as we win the game 117-108. Now, you guys know me. I'm not shy about giving my praise to Boston and how good they are as a team. They're one of the best teams in the league. They're the NBA champions. They have two really good all-star level players. Their team around them, in my opinion, they are the biggest threats as of now still for the NBA championship. I really believe that. But like I said, it felt like we belonged in this game. The Bulls didn't have the best game of their life. We have seen better performances from the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls didn't necessarily, I guess, look out of place either. It didn't look like we were scrubs against them. It felt like a good game. It just felt like a good, solid game for the Bulls in which they walked away with a victory. Now, of course, there are a couple of reasons why we won this game. First and foremost, Boston's three-point shooting was absolutely abysmal in this game. 14 from 56 from the three-point line. They're one of the highest taking three-point shooting teams in the league, as are the Chicago Bulls, which is 25%. So they shot 25% from three. If you guys know anything about Boston, they are truly the definition of live and die by the three. If they are not making their threes, they will not win the game. The problem is they make their threes too often, and that is how they are almost very unstoppable. But today, for whatever reason, whether it was our defense, I'll give credit to the defense if need be, or whether it was just they were having an off night from three, they just didn't live up to the standards that they probably expect from themselves. An off shooting night, and the Bulls capitalized. There's also even criticism about Boston, how they don't adjust when they miss their three-point shots. I'm assuming, because I didn't watch the entirety of the game from start to finish, that was another issue that took place for the Boston Celtics. Often criticized about how when their shots don't fall, they don't have a second idea, they don't have a second plan, and maybe that's also another factor that played into it for the Bulls. But the Bulls have plans. They have plans upon plans. First and foremost, I really do love the assist numbers that we had, 23 assists in the game. It's not amazing, but it's still better than what Boston were able to produce. I loved our three-point shooting a little bit more. It's not great, 19 from 52 from three, which is at 36.5%, but it's significantly better than what Boston were able to do. Defensive rebounding-wise, we won that battle as well. And yeah, I would say that's really about it in terms of this game. But still, like, if you look at the stats, it just felt even. It felt even. It was an evenly played game. And with that being said, there are a lot of contributors to the victory as well, so we can take a deeper dive into that. Starting off with an incredible, and I truly mean incredible, performance from Zach LaVine, who had 36 points in this game, 4 assists and 6 rebounds. He was on fire against the Boston Celtics. Zach LaVine doesn't normally have great games against Boston, so when you see one like that, you got to take advantage of it, and the Bulls did. We walked away with a victory with Zach LaVine's incredible performance. Patrick Williams with 14 points. Back in the starting lineup today, and he got a good amount of points in there as well. Really like to see it. Nikola Vucevic, 16 and 14. 16 points and 14 rebounds in the game. A massive effort from, again, someone that maybe with Porzingis doesn't have great games, but he tends to have good games against Boston, and this is just another one to add to the tally. Kobe White with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. I would say a solid effort from Kobe White, but obviously not his best game, and we could definitely see better. Taylor Horton-Tucker with 9 points. Nice to see he's getting a little bit more minutes off the bench. Julian Phillips with 10 points and 5 rebounds. Lonzo with 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's got the triple threes. The triple Bs and the triple threes, if you know what I mean as well. So, again, a solid production game for the Bulls, where we did what we were supposed to do. We did our thing. We got good effort in there from everybody. Everybody was trying. Everybody was trying to play the best they could possibly do. Boston just had an off night from 3. I mean, taking a look at Boston's stats, they had a couple of good performances in their own right. Tatum with 31 points and 10 rebounds. Jaylen Brown with 19 points. Porzingis with 20 points. Derek White with 16 points. Drew Holiday with 6 points. And even Peyton Pritchard, who's been very good this season, has had his best season thus far in his career. He had a solid 14 points as well. So everybody kind of played a role for, I won't say everybody, most guys on Boston played their role. But an off night. And you know what? I'll take it. The Bulls, when you get a victory like this, you have to take it. There's no other choice. I don't care if we're tanking or not. When you could beat the reigning NBA champions in a game, that has to be something you give yourself credit for, you give the coaching staff credit for, you give the players credit for, and the fans need to celebrate something like that. We may not get many wins like this in the season. Heck, we verse Boston next. They might crush us in that game. I don't know. We might beat them again. I really don't know what the outcome is going to be. And it's going to be a fun game to watch. One that I can watch from start to finish, by the way. So I'm looking forward to that. But ultimately, we may not get many wins like this in the season. So it's important to enjoy these performances. It's important to beat. It's important to enjoy the beating that we gave to Boston. It is. And hopefully, maybe in the next game we can see it again. But if not, at least know that we did beat the NBA champions. That has to give us something towards the season. I'm not asking for the Bulls now to go and win a championship this season, but at least now I know when they play well or when they play remotely good, they are a competitive team. And you know what? It's been like that this entire season. We're 13 and 15 in the season. I still can bet a lot of money no one expected that to be the case at the beginning. I thought everybody probably thought we were going to be within the bottom 3. It turns out we're in the playing tournament spots, which is where I predicted us to be. And you know what? We're not far away from every other team in the East. Maybe the East has gotten worse. I've said that as well. I truly believe it in my heart. The East is so bad, especially compared to the West. The East is horrible. But we're not too far away from our competition. So be competitive. Be competitive. Even in the losses, be competitive in those losses. The last thing I want to see, if we're going to tank especially, is blowout losses. I don't want to see us lose by 30 points. I just don't want to see it. I'd rather us lose in competitive fashion than lose in embarrassing fashion. And with victories like this, enjoy it while it lasts, because there's not many of them that may come around for the Bulls. But still, competitive, happy, can't complain. Player of the game, Zach LaVine, pretty straightforward. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. You know what? I've only watched the highlights, so what I'm going to do now, while I edit this video, is go watch the game in full. Because it's Friday night, I ain't got no place to be tomorrow. I'm going to go watch it from full. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Next game is against Boston as well, so I would often say this when it comes to games, back-to-back type of games, or when you verse a team 2 times consecutively in a row, especially in the regular season, it is very difficult to win 2 games in a row against a certain team. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very difficult. So I do actually expect the Bulls to maybe lose that next game. I think that one is at home, so we got home court advantage. But fun fact, we're not a good home team this season. We haven't been. So that might actually play against us, which is quite sad because home court advantage, it needs to be a factor, especially when you're playing in the United Center. So far, it just hasn't been. I'm not saying it's the fans' fault, don't get me. That's not what I'm saying. I think the players need to step up at home. Hopefully, they can get the job done. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.